Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Mach, and this is from the Kamen Rider Drive TV series, which I really like, and something I tune in watching. Really awesome. It's actually, this TV series gets better for every episodes, and it's really nice. So actually, Mach is my least favorite, and this is Go's Kamen Rider suit, and it's my least favorite because Go is kind of cocky. There's always one cocky character in the show. But nonetheless, he's actually quite nice. And I got this since he's a little different. I want to go something to go along with Kamen Rider Drive. And I do like the suit designs nonetheless. So I gave it a shot. It does come with a bike, which is another thing that you buy separately. I was thinking of getting it, and that one comes with the effect parts for the funky spike wheel. So in this one, you're gonna get the wheel. If you want to get the effect parts, you gotta get the bike. And it seems like that's the gimmick for this SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Drive. You get what are the you get the effect parts for each one, so you gotta end up collecting them all if you want to have a good set. Yeah, but nonetheless, it's interesting. Yeah, other than that, here's the box. It's your typical SH Figuarts packaging. It's quite compact, which is great. And you get the funky spike here, which we'll take a look in a bit. And let's open this up and let's take a look inside. We got Kamen Rider Mach here, and he looks great. Very interesting suit design, or his rider design. Very racy. All that stripes, really nice actually. I like this. So in terms of articulation, we have the neck here, really good range of movement here. Then you kind of have like a asymmetrical look from his left and right arm. On the left here, you have this hinge for the shoulder armor. You get this bicep swivel, elbow bend, although I kind of find that this elbow armor a little bit off. Yep. Get the wrist here, and you get the shoulder, which good range. I like that. On the other side, it's a little different, and it's probably one of the design that I didn't really like much about Mach is this wheel here. The placement, it's just kind of off, and feels like it's going to be hindering his ability to move, but actually not so much. It's there, but you can still fight with it. So in terms of articulation, you get the shoulder here, which you can move up, and you can actually move that aside. Still have that bicep swivel, which is great. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't really hinder him as much because you can move this around, and you can also take this out. Well, there we go. And it is on a peg, if you are curious. And putting this back, there we go. And we'll go more in details on this one when I was changing or using the other shift bikes. And there we go. Now we get an elbow bend. This one doesn't have the elbow cover or the armor, but actually not too bad. Just in terms of it just being the bare joint there, elbow joint, not too bad. And this one has a forearm swivel, which is a little different from here. Yep. Moving down, we have the torso here, which gives you a little bit. Then you have the waist. The waist doesn't turn all the way, but in terms of human limitation, it's actually just great. Yep. You can't really turn that much. Then you got the scarf here, and it's just actually pegged down. There's another one with a ball joint, no, a little ball joint there, and this gives you a bit more of the dynamic pose. It's not the most secure way to put it on, but it's not too bad. Yep. But I would probably just prefer using this, or sometimes just remove it altogether. It's just a little extra. Now the waist, Now, I mentioned on my Kamen Rider Drive review, I'm not too fond of this design here. The big ball joint on the waist. I feel like it looks something else. But on him, it's not too bad. And especially for something like a dynamic character, you know, this gives him a lot of range of movement, which is great. You know, that's something you want. And especially the way he's designed, it's not too bad. And you have the swivel here, thigh swivel, which is great. You get the knee with a separate knee armor, which you can remove. And be careful that the armor that you can remove has a tendency to pop off. So make sure it's there. And you have the ankle joint, which is great. So that's really nice. And you also have a toe articulation here. Yep. Kind of like your basic SHF Figuarts articulation. Yeah, this is really great. In terms of articulation, I don't see any hindrance. Even this one's not too bad. Very nice. Now moving on, let's see here. Right, let me just place down a Mach here, and let's go over the different hands. There we go. So we got the closed fist. You have the open hand. Then you have this pose here. And you have the thumbs up. And I think he does that a lot in the show. And you have a pair for holding the Zinrin shooter, or look here in the wiki. The front wheel. Yep. Is that what it is? Yeah, it's the front wheel shooter. And it's basically kind of like the front wheel of his bike. The wheel does not turn, but nonetheless, it's not too bad. I mean, it's cool if it turns, but it probably we don't really need that gimmick. Alright, placing this on, you have a really small ball joint, and likewise most figures. Be careful when you're putting this on. Make sure you hold it as close as possible to the joint, and just gonna pop it in. There we go. Now to put this on here, you just kind of start where the trigger is. It's probably the thinnest part. Put the thumb in there somehow and just wrap it. Yep. Here we go. Now to go along with that, you have the Mach signal bike here. That's that R for rider. And the wheel here as well. So this one, the gimmick on this one, you can slide this down. Yep, when he transforms, which is really cool. And you have the igniter here, I think, and sometimes when he hits this 4 times, he can do his special move. Now you can remove this, and it's a little tricky to remove this because you have this top part here that kind of gets in the way. But there is a peg, which gives it a more secure when you put it on and as you push it down. And you have this other signal bike here, which is the turn Magari signal bike, which is the turn or the bend signal bike. Likewise, it will have a peg, and you just put this on here. There we go. And his shoulder will change, kind of like Drive's belt, to indicate that he has a new power or a new mode, basically. So let's pop this out. And I think I just loosened the shoulder thing. So the peg kind of goes through here. And if you are having a problem like what I have right now, maybe you can just pop the whole shoulder and press it from there, and that will pop off the front part. Now you get aligned it. Make sure the one with the tab is on that side. You get a peg, or 3 pegs there. Then you just push it on. That peg will go on the back. And we just put this all the way on the shoulder again. Oops. It slipped. There we go. Now we have the turn signal. And just, there we go. And likewise, you can take this out. Sometimes it's large to take it out. You might have to use a toothpick or a paper clip to take it out, and you can put it here using that little peg. And again, it's actually secure. It's quite nice. And yeah. And I think that's only in terms of the signal bikes. Now I'm not sure if you're gonna get more if you get the actual bike, the Rider Mach, I think that's. I'm not too familiar with the name of the bike, but you might have getting more of those options. And I think that's about it in terms of the figure. Now let's go over quickly the add-on or the first release bonus, which is the funky spikes. So the funky spike is right here. I'm not gonna really take it out of the packaging other than here. It's kind of like the same for a Kamen drive. You have the wheel, the rims, and you have one for the Mr. Belts change on the screen display, and you have the SHF KR that's going to be placed on his wrist. Really nice. And again, if you want to get the effect part, you gotta get the bike. Yep. Kind of curious if this is going to work with Tridron, because in the show he was able to put 3 of these wheels on his arm, which is interesting. Anyways, that's about it for the review. This is a really great figure. I would highly recommend getting it, especially if you're a big fan of Kamen Drive, and maybe Mach is your favorite rider of the show. And I got mine from Tatsu Hobby. I'll provide the link down below if you are interested. Not sure if they have this on their actual web store, but for all Tamashii products, you can always inquire about it. And there you go. Alright, that's about it for the review. Hope you guys like it. If you have any questions, and actually this one, I got a little more familiar with it since I'm watching the show. Or if you have any question on this figure in particular. And I almost forgot. There's another gimmick. You can actually move up the visor here, the face shield. Or the face shield, and which reveals the visor here in that metallic blue. Really nice. In the show, he uses that when... Well, towards the end, when he needs to exhaust all that heat that he generated from all that energy he used. So that's really cool. Yep. And I think that's about it. Am I missing something else? No. Alright, so until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.